Alright, if you're one of those people who just doesn't have time and who always say, hey man, get to the point, you're dragging this video very long. Okay, the simple short answer to the question, why did I get my whole body and face tattooed, was because I like attention, I was a rebel, I was a young man who wanted attention from girls and position myself as a bad boy. I wanted to stand out with the guys and show that I was a tough bloke with muscles and, you know, all the bad boy statements. And eventually I wanted everyone to look at me as like, wow, this guy has the guts to do something nobody else has. Because, come on, it takes a certain degree of extreme madness, real crazy guts to tattoo your face. Nobody can do it. And I knew that if I would do it, nobody else can replicate. So that made me very unique. It made me stand out. And that is why if you Google search on YouTube, Loy Machedo Coca-Cola, Loy Machedo 247.ae, Loy Machedo, TED Talks, not to forget TED Talks. This was only because I stood out. But if I'd been normal like everyone else, I don't think I would stand out. In fact, even you, when you looked at me the first time, you saw me once, you never forgot me, right? So that was the statement I wanted to make. However, if you want to understand the deeper reason why I got into this, from being this nice, good-looking, clean-cut professional to taking such a drastic step of tattooing and looking like this freak, this gangster, this satanic cult, Lucifer, that people call me all these names, how did it badly impact my life, my relationships, my work, my career? Yet I never gave up. And how does it help me today? Is it good or bad or ugly? Like even girls I wanted to marry, who I was deeply in love with, they said, Loy, I'm ashamed to stand with you in public. What will if I have children with you, what will society say to my children? It broke my heart to know that, you know, nobody wanted me to be the father of, you know, our children. So if you want all those answers, then watch the video that will follow. It'll be slightly long, but it'll be a conversation that we'll have. But if you're like, oh, get to the fucking point, man, I just answered it. I've answered your question, so you can go bye-bye. But if you want a deeper meaning, stick around, and I'm going to tell you the real and whole story. Hope you enjoyed this video. Do comment down below, because I will be reading each and every question and statement. And yeah, answer this question. What was your first impression when you saw me with the tattooed face? Be honest. I'm not going to feel bad. I'm a grown man. So I would love to read them. Having said that, let's start the video. Alright, let's get this camera, everything sorted out. I got my Kadak Chai, and wait. This is my flask with the Kadak Chai, so everything is ready. Okay, so let us start. Okay, so welcome to my Kadak Chai series, okay, which was put on hold because of my 11-day no food fast. Let me taste how it is. It's a masala chai with the, you know, bought from outside, and then I just put more milk. So that's it. 1 second. Ah, wow. Not exaggerating. Seriously. Man, if you have the perfect Kadak Chai now, man, your life is worth $1 billion, $1 trillion. So in this series, what I tend to do is I talk about a topic, or AC is coming too much weight. I talk about a topic, but I talk about it in a very relaxing manner, more like how you talk to your friend. And I speak in a manner like, you know, like we're chill pill. So that's what the series. And today's topic is one that I guess because there are new subscribers, almost every single person is asking me this question. Hey man, what is the story behind your tattoos? What is the story behind your tattoos? What is the story behind your tattoos? You get fed up at some point. Keep answering, what is the story behind your tattoos? And don't mind if I keep sipping the tea, because tea is not fun when you drink it cold. So I'll keep sipping. So just don't mind that. So in this video, I'll share with you what's the story behind their tattoos. Okay, and I'll keep it brief. I don't want to give once upon a time, I'm not going to make it a TED talk. I'll just keep it very simple. If you see me seeing the screen, I've written down the bulleted points so that I know that I've covered everything, and I am going to share with you what you need to know. Okay, so by the way, if you're in a hurry and you just want to know, hey man, what's the story behind your tattoos, man? Tell me, get to the point. Some of you are like this. Hey man, you're bloody dragging the whole fucking video. Get to the point. Okay, the point, story behind tattoos, why I got it. I love attention. Happy? If that is what you wanted, you heard it. Bye-bye. Okay, so for those who have no time, you just want, no, just tell me, get to the point. So in my tattoos, I wanted attention. Why does someone get a tattoo? For attention, right? Okay, so happy. I was a rebel, wanted attention. But if you want to know the substance, the actual story, that I will tell you, where you'll understand what went through my mind. What makes a guy tattoo his face? I mean, you really have to be fucking crazy to do this, okay? So I'll share with you. But the plus, the minus, the good side, bad, that all is later. Okay, so let's start. Now, before I do begin, a very important disclaimer which I have to give you, okay? I'll finish this. Just 1 second. Give me 1 second. Hot. And the masala feeling that goes with the sugary and the milk and seriously amazing, man. Okay, sorry, just 1 more second. Let me get my soda. Soda is here. This is carbonated soda. So instead of water, I like the little bit of bubbly, Jericho from AEW says bubbly. Okay, so let's start. Once upon a time. Okay, sorry. Okay, the first thing which I want to tell you is, before you start watching the video, because there are many 20-year-olds, youngsters, men and women, young men and women, please understand this much. I do not encourage you to get tattoos. Seriously, from my heart, I do not encourage anyone to get a tattoo who is below the age of 30. In fact, even if you're 30, if you can push until you're 40, please do not get a tattoo. And the reason being is, life changes, your priorities change, you change. And then you'll actually realize, or you'll come to know whether you need or don't need a tattoo. So the first thing which I want to tell you is, the minimum age is 30. Until 30, please don't get a tattoo. Even 30, your blood is pretty boiling hot and adrenaline, and you think no end of yourself. So the ideal age would be 40. That's the ideal age, because that is where maturity sets in. But if you want to do earlier than that, then I would say 35. But if you still are so desperate wanting to get it early, then I would say 30. Okay, but before 30, no. Because I'll tell you, there is a price to pay for tattoos. I mean, if you look at the comments, you'll see so many saying, oh, you're the devil. I had a video about Christians and I posted that, and what did they say? Oh, you're satanic, you're evil. This is the mark of the devil. Some mark, something they say. Maybe they saw the middle of my head and they say, oh, this is a cross, this is Jesus, and it's satanic, it's a mark of the devil. Why, the devil will take a helicopter and land on my head or what? And some people say, yeah, your face looks like that. And then you get some, old-timer Muslims or guys who follow the traditional, this in Quran. Oh, you're the jinn, or you're doing black magic. Ooh, okay, that kind of stuff. So there is negative connotation. And obviously, if you see world-class brands, Rolex, Rolls-Royce, any 5-star hotel, you'll never see anyone with a tattoo. It's only like companies which are rebellious in nature, like Richard Branson, he liked to be a rebel, or maybe it can be an IT company like Google, Amazon or something, or the back end where you don't have to meet customers. But generally, if you see global brands or anything that is classy, you'll never see anyone like a James Bond. You'll never see him have a tattoo. There's always that clean-cut image that sells. So airline industry, banking industry, medical industry, they are not allowed. Okay, so please keep in mind that if you do get a tattoo and it's visible, it can hinder your career growth, and there is a price to pay. Remember this, the only people who get tattoos are those who are rebels, who are trying to make a rebellious statement. I dare to differ. I am unique. I don't give a fuck. It gives that kind of vibe. And there is a price to pay for it. People generally do not like, for example, if you had a daughter and you had to date two guys, I'm very sure you'd see one boy if he looked clean cut and the other one had tattoo here, and you'd be like, this guy must be some drug addict or, alcoholic guy or some gangster. That's the common association I get. Now, obviously say, hey, what about you? I mean, I would also evaluate in the same manner. Like, this young boy has tattoos, he's a rebel. So my daughter is dating a rebel. So maybe he can take her in the wrong direction. I'm being very transparent. You can say, oh, you're a hypocrite, so you got a tattoo and nobody should judge you. Yeah, but you do not know my backstory, right? Okay, which I'll be telling you. So, and first I'm being very honest about this. A disclaimer. Now let's move on to the fundamental reason. Why does someone get a tattoo? They want attention. They want people to look at you. You're trying to say, see, look at this mark. Oh, see, because, you generally look, oh, what is that design? Oh, how does it stand out? So people who don't want to fit into the mold, who want to dare to differ, that is why you'll see these people with male or female with pink hair, green hair, this and that. And automatically you'll either say, this person is like a transgender or one of those weird hippie, this thing. No one with proper upbringing, me included, no one with proper upbringing would get this. And then you'll say, Loy, so you finally admit you don't have proper upbringing. I've been very transparent about it. I never had an upbringing. Forget the good upbringing, bad upbringing. I never had an upbringing. I had a mother who didn't give a fuck. I had a father who abandoned me when I was small. I had my stepfather who violently abused me, beat me like an animal. If I was an animal, maybe he would get arrested for animal abuse and human rights abuse. It was that bad. He would beat me with an Arab bamboo cane, which you can hit a criminal and, punish them for rape and all that. He used it on my body from the age of 7. Imagine, from the age of 7. And he hit me non-stop for 1 hour to almost 90 minutes. I used to see the clock. And I used to urinate and all. Man, blood used to come out from my face and everywhere. Blood used to come out. And then you'd lock me up for 2-3 days in the house so that nobody would notice that I was bleeding. And you would say, didn't your mother say anything? She was part of the same shit, man. See, remember, no man would hit a woman's child unless the woman gives permission. Which at that time I didn't know. I thought my mother was the good cop. The father was the bad cop. But as you grow up, you realize, fucking bitch, yeah. She gave him the permission. Otherwise, he wouldn't have the balls to do that. Because he was anyway a simp. He was crazy about my mother. So, one sec. Let me ring this again. Move the mouse. Okay, fine. The chai, man. Chai, Kadak Chai. You should watch my videos while having a chai. Yeah. Okay. So, I didn't have proper upbringing. On top of that, I did not know this, but I had very severe ADHD. And ADHD wasn't invented that time, not discovered. Today, this ADHD is like, literally everyone says I have ADHD, but I had genuinely ADHD. And how do I know? I was super hyper. I couldn't sit in one place. I was talking non-stop. I was ball of energy. I was crazy. I couldn't read. I couldn't sit in one place. Always a fidgety. If you'd ask me to sit and study, I would feel hungry, want to go to toilet, want to eat something, want to feel sleepy, want to run, want to play. My mind would go 100 places. And by the way, my small daughter, she's exactly the same. My wife was thinking of giving her to a doctor and giving control tablets. I said, nothing doing. Let her be exactly as she is. So I had ADHD. And I loved attention because I didn't have love, I didn't have care. I wanted attention. Hey, mummy, look at me. Hey, papa, look at me. I want to talk to you. I want to tell you a story. So I was born in that environment. And the only feedback they gave me, shut up. They would just say, shut up. And they would hit me and beat me because they believed somewhere in the Bible, if you discipline your child, you're bringing closer to God or some shit like that. So what happened was, they would beat me, hit me. I'm looking at my this thing. Okay. They would beat me, hit me, and try to discipline me. But the more they hit me, the more they beat me, the more resilient I became, and the more attention I wanted. Okay. So I was like this caged animal waiting to run outside into the world for someone to discover me. And, well, the only place outside was either the church or the school or friends. And when I was outside, I would talk, yap, non-stop and all that. Understand this much. 7-year-old boy locked alone in a room of a house with his cousin, sister, sometimes others locked alone. Can you imagine that? Whole day I would be there. Okay. So this is how I was brought up, and I remember where my first interaction with tattoos was. We went to this shopping mall. If you know anyone in Dubai, they can ask them this. In the 70s and early 80s, there was only one shopping mall in the entire of Dubai. It was Al Ghurair shopping mall. It was just like one of those American shopping malls, and there was a Grand Hyatt that was near the ocean. But this mall, Al Ghurair shopping mall, was, tall buildings, only super rich people used to stay there. The first 2 floors were like shopping, okay, and the second floor had one arcade place where you play arcade, games, no? Slot machines and arcade games. Maybe today's generation wouldn't know that. So there were a lot of these games. It was a place called Sindabad. So what happened was, they would go there once a while. And, for a young boy like me, going to a place where there are arcade games and all that was Disneyland. Okay? Because remember, we have stayed in UAE 40 years. My parents nearly 50 years, 55. So it was a desert. It was nothing, just small villas and small houses. But this was like Wonderland. So we would go there, and that was like a dream for us. So when we would go there, obviously we would go to every shop down and we would see these big brands. And I don't know if it was Adidas. I was, I think, 6 or 7. But these sports shops would show all these expensive shoes. There was some shoes, I don't know, Adidas or Nike or whatever brand was there. So they would go to these shops. They wouldn't buy anything super expensive because, we are used to buying cheap quality Indian brands. Like you sell for $1, maybe less than $1. So here it must have been $10. Why should you buy? So you just look, window shopping. But for me, it was like, time to run around, play around and run. You know how kids are. So as I was doing that, I clearly remember to this date. Imagine, I was only 7. And I saw this guy wearing jeans, blonde hair, kind of like blonde or orange or whatever. But he had, different color hair and beard, and he wore this jeans kind of a jacket. I don't remember what shirt he wore, but he was white. I never seen a white man before. He was white, he had this beard and all. And I was very fascinated. Who's this guy? Like, like Russell Peters says, who's this? So I saw that. I was like, oh, wow. Yeah, you're seeing, all you see is brownies like you, and all of a sudden you're seeing a white guy. I was like this. And there, lo and behold, on his forearm, I think it was this forearm, there was a mermaid. Thankfully, I'm not sure. I think she was covered, her breasts were covered. But there was a mermaid. I don't remember whether she was showing her tits or not. Okay? Too young, man. So, and I saw that mermaid. It was a color tattoo. Just one mermaid here. Okay? Because I think he was a sailor. They stopped, parked their ship. They came to buy things. It was near the port was a little far off. So, he was a sailor because obviously it was common those days. So when I saw the mermaid, I'm a small boy. Like, I don't know whether, you see something you want to touch, right? So I went and looked at it, and he saw me staring at it, and he showed it to me. He showed it like this. And I thought it was like he colored. So I was like trying to rub it. And he was laughing. He was like, "You like it?" So I was like, "Yeah." And I was doing them. My mother and stepfather were horrified when they saw, and they immediately came because, strangers talking to their kid, and, "Oh, sorry. And I don't know what the conversation was, but, obviously the pleasantries. No, it's perfectly fine. He's a nice boy, So that was the first time I saw a tattoo. And then I didn't think anything about it because obviously we were going to play arcade games. So that was the first time. Now, from Dubai started to grow from there. Let me finish it. Getting cold. What a chai. Okay. So, Dubai was filled with Indians those days. Indians, maybe Pakistanis. But very soon we started to have an influx of Filipinos. And obviously, when the word gets around, oh, this is a place, a lot of jobs are there, and you can make some foreign exchange which is better than your currency, people start coming in. So there was, over the years, a massive influx of Filipinos, Indians, but Filipinos were the majority, and they were not from the very rich community. See, even today, Filipinos, the majority of them are poor. They live below the poverty line, a lot of slums. Even if you see a girl looks very beautiful, sophisticated, if you go see a house back in the Philippines, they live very, very simple. Very simple. I'm not making fun of them. I'm telling you as it is. Even here in Thailand, you see the girls' profiles, you'll think like, wow, she must be staying in a classy house. You'll be surprised to know a hot, beautiful girl who looks like, like you take her for a 5-star hotel. She would be selling fruits and vegetables or fish or meat in the market. I'm seriously telling you. I've stayed here and I've learned a couple of things about them. I do not know like 20 years, but I've seen, it's unbelievable. So many Filipinos, and they were very deeply influenced by the American military that had taken presence in their country. So many of them wore like Michael Jordan's outfit. They would dress like basketball players. They loved playing basketball. So in came all these guys, in came these chefs, cooks, waiters. They would do odd jobs. But predominantly tattoo artists came along with them also. Okay, tattoo artists. But remember this, UAE was a Muslim country. So they would tattoo people, but underground. So I would see people with piercings. Sometimes I would see tattoos. But it never occurred to me that I wanted a tattoo until then. Okay. As I grew up, finished my high school, went to college, couldn't do it, dropped out. Then obviously got introduced to bodybuilding, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Van Damme, Sylvester Stallone. Those were the days where you'd see muscled guys online, and that was machoism. So today it's more like Robert Downey Jr., then the guy in Ant-Man and all that, Mark Ruffalo. But those days, the bigger muscles you have, the more manly you were. So Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone, Van Damme, all the muscled guys. So I got into bodybuilding. I also wanted big muscles, and and what does muscles do? Gain attention. They look at you, wow, you're so big, you're so strong. So I also wanted to become big. And by the way, I would see movies like Bloodsport and like even Steven Seagal, Bloodsport, like, which they've copied in Hindi movies. The hero, the villain kills his brother, then he wants to take revenge. So he would be lying down, going to a forest, his legs will be like this, he can't stretch, so he pulls, it doesn't stretch, then he pulls harder, this. And then he shows him his brother, tells him, your brother died, and then his legs automatically stretch, and has to practice that. And then he would punch a coconut tree and his knuckles would become hard. So I would be busy punch the wall and see my knuckles, become like a man. And then I would see Pumping Iron, those days you would get a pirated copy and you'd see, oh, his muscles are so big. I would be like, and obviously Hulk Hogan, WWE. So they would say your prayers, take your vitamins and all that. So I was like, oh, I'll say my prayers, take my vitamins, eat breakfast and muscles will come. Nothing happened. And then I thought eating, the more eggs you eat, the more muscles you get. I used to literally force myself, 10 eggs, 15 eggs. My mother used to wonder like, what the hell is in your stomach? Like, what are you doing? Go figure. And I thought if you do more push-ups, like it's like pumping a balloon, you know, pss, 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 pss. The more push-ups I do, the bigger the muscles get. Nothing was happening. So anyway, so went to the gym, did all the stuff, didn't know there was steroids, didn't all this. And this went on until the age of 30. But then I got introduced to steroids. And I think that time my mass was around 80 kilos, 80. So I reached 30. And I was a playboy. I liked women. I used to go regularly to the gym. I wanted to be like a massive, big bodybuilder. I got into public speaking, so that helped me get attention. However, remember, back of my head, there was always, how can I get more attention? See, either you can get it if you have money. There were guys who used to come to shisha coffee shops and flex their car. They would come with a nice, you know, expensive car with the sound blasting like doop, 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 doop. When they'd come, every head would turn. And many of them would even come out with a MacBook Pro, like a MacBook. Like having a MacBook itself was, fucking hell, he has a MacBook, yeah. Like, I remember we used to look at these guys, fuck, he has a MacBook, like in our 20s. When we used to go to gaming parlors, you remember, you would play games. And some would come with hot girls and they're like, fuck, check that bastard, yeah. You know, guys would sit together, others would smoke shisha. So there are different ways of getting attention. So obviously I didn't have the money. So I couldn't get attention with expensive car, expensive MacBooks, nothing. But what I could get attention or show the muscles, you know, many guys like to flex their muscles. So we were at that phase of our lives, how to attract girls, how to get attention with girls. And I think by the time I was 30, still trying that game, it used to work sometimes. As to be public speaking, I was a DJ, I was an anchor for shows. That got me attention. But my cousin was the starting point of the tattoos. My cousin had gone to Australia, the first one in our family to go to Australia to complete a chef's course. And he was like a normal South Indian boy, wearing, you know, no tattoos, nothing, and properly dressed. You know, short hair and everything. Those days I had hair, typical Indian boy. Okay. You look at any normal Indian, clean shaven, I was like that. When he came back after, I think, 1 year or 2 years, the same guy was clean cut, normal hair, I think is above me, 5'9" or 6. When he came back, he had dreadlocks. We would only see dreadlocks in the movies or WWE. But real life in our family, nobody had dreadlocks. So we were like, fucking hell, what the hell is this? I didn't know at that time. He started smoking weed there in Australia. He never told us then. So he had dreadlocks. And lo and behold, to my shock and surprise, this guy, I think on his left side, he had this big tribal tattoo. Tribal is, you know, it just has hooks and, you know, you can Google such tribal tattoo. I was like, fuck. All of a sudden, memories came back of that first tattoo and all that. I was like, fucking hell, you got a tattoo? And I was telling him, he's like, yo. Like he was telling me, don't touch it, bro. Don't touch it. It needs to heal. So he already developed the status that, fuck, I got a tattoo. You don't touch my tattoo. And he had got a freshly new one. Then I was like, fuck this. I need to. And I was the eldest boy in the family, the first boy. He was second after. First was my cousin's sister, then was me, then he was born. I was like, fuck, I need to get this tattoo. And then once something sits in my head, I become obsessed. So then I started to inquire around, ask people. I just wanted a tattoo. I didn't care who the fuck it was. I didn't know what it was. I just wanted a tattoo. Finally, I found someone, a female who had a tattoo. And I asked her, where did you get it from? And she told me, yeah, I got it from here in Dubai. I said, in Dubai? She said, yeah. because I was of the idea you have to go to Philippines or something. I said, can you give me his number? I immediately took down his number, called up that guy. That guy said, yeah, come over. Because they work underground. Remember, it's an Islamic country. So finally, I drove up to his place, and I'll tell you, this is really funny. He asked me, okay, what design do you want? I was so eager to get a fucking tattoo. I didn't even know what the fuck did I want it for. I was like, what design? Can you show me some design? It's like, I have an album. So obviously all tattoo artists have an album. He gave me an album. I took the album, I looked. I got completely overwhelmed. I was like, fuck, there are 100 different. So finally I got so fed up because I was so eager to get a tattoo. I told him, okay, listen, give me the best tattoo. He's like, what? Just give me the best tattoo. How much? He overcharged me, I think, 4 times because he realized this is a dumb fuck who wants a tattoo, and he thought I'll do one tattoo and go. So which was the first one? The first one was at the back. If you see my back tattoos, there is one. It's just a slight tribal. So I told him, yeah, do this. And remember, he's charging me 4 times the price. I told him, do it. I was with one of my girlfriends. I was busy fondling her ass when he was doing it. Well, that was nice, kinky, and I was busy biting her nipples and all that. That's kinky stuff. Okay. Means not inside, or from outside. So he was wondering, what the fuck is this guy doing? I was busy. Okay. So he did this. After he did it, only then I realized, you did? He said, yeah. I think it took 15 minutes. Just line, you know. And then I realized, fuck, he did a tattoo, but I can't see it. Seriously. Only after he did it, I realized I can't see it. So I was like, okay, can you give me one more tattoo? He was like, yeah, okay, what tattoo do you want? Once again, I told him, yeah, just give me anything. So then he asked, where do you want it? So then I didn't even figure that part. I was like, where is... I seriously asked him, where should I get it? He said, do it here or here. I said, okay, do it there. And this you can see here. This, where is that? Yeah, you can see this design. Looks just one. See? This one like this. Just this stupid shit. Okay, with that S. That time my girlfriend's name was S. So I put S here. So, and this one, which doesn't mean anything. So he did it. He again charged me 4 times the price. I didn't know what was the price and all that. I just paid him off. So I got my tattoo. Okay, now listen. After I got my tattoo, I'm a cool guy, right? Never had a tattoo. You'll not believe I went around everywhere. This you'll notice with people who get tattoos. Where they have a tattoo, they'll make sure that show that part of the body. So if a girl has tattoo like here, she will show this part because she has to show that tattoo. So if she has it on her back, full back, she'll try to have a naked back. If a guy has a tattoo here, he'll go showing this. I was making sure every outfit I wore I could lift it up. So, you know, I was staying in Sharjah near a labor camp area. Near, I think it was Sigma, you know, Paints roundabout or something. I can't get the exact name here. It's been so long. So it's the highway of Dubai that connects to Sharjah near the Paint roundabout or something. So I was to stay in that area, and mostly were male laborers. So because I was a big guy, I was like 100 kilos by that time. 80 kilos. Obviously people used to see my tattoos and I felt very cool. And obviously when I was hanging out with friends, I would show them my tattoos. But when you go to a nightclub, sooner or later, you'll meet another weirdo like you. One day, as I was showing my tattoos, feeling cool, wearing like shirts still here, I saw a guy. I have one. He has 2. So when I looked at him, I was like, bastard. Seriously, huh? Like, bastard, he has 2. I have only fucking 1. That is why he thinks he's very cool. So I went, I looked at him, you know, like this. I was just busy looking. I was looking the other side. So he felt more confident because he had more tattoos than me, 2. I had only 1. So like, fuck this, I'm going to get it. So then I got another guy to do this. You can see the alien face, no? I got the, wait, where is this? Okay, turn. You can see the alien face, right? Okay, I got this. So, now he has two, I have two. Ha ha ha. And guess what? After a few days, I saw a guy who had full one hand. I was like, bastard, he has full one hand, I have only half hand. Again, went there, you can see all these lines. It's biomechanical. I simply went and got it. Okay, now, then I got this side. So, when I saw one, got one, then I thought, okay, I'll do two. Then finally I thought to myself, okay, now that I have two, let me do more. Well, I did my whole back. You can see whole back. By that time, I had an idea what to put. And I started putting horror faces. I started putting a theme. And obviously, because I would do more, the tattoo artist, I could negotiate the price. So I did more. I finished my whole back. And then you can see this one, no? You can see this is a face. This one is a face. This was the face of my ex-girl, but then I made it look horror with eyes black and all that. Something which I tell people never do. So these were the only two tattoos. You can see love, right? But I made a horror face. So I put her face. After she dumped me, eventually after that, 2-3 months later, so I realized, okay, make this horror. Then slowly I made this face. You can see here. Wait, let me show you. You can see this face, horror face. Okay. So one by one I started to do and before you know it, I finished the whole upper part of the body. Lower part, obviously only the part people can see, it's worth it. So I got below the knees. And then I had, I was a public speaking guy and I wanted to stand out. So I would do some of my speeches which, like up to the knees, like jeans, trousers. So that would make me stand out. But then I realized above my legs, it looked funny. So then I got that also. But the most controversial one was this, the hand. You can see if I join both the hands, like this, right? Let me show you. If I join both the hands, you can see the mouth, right? You can see the mouth. This is a mouth and these are two eyes. Okay. So I got this face done. But I was really scared because nobody had done the hands. I was afraid maybe I could get deported. But then I realized if you have here, you can get deported, but here, no. So to be sure, first I put a marker pen when I went in the gym and I showed people. They're like, hey, you got tattooed, you got tattooed. And I said, no, it's a marker pen. So when I realized people don't feel anything great, I got it done. Then obviously the neck, okay, all this. The face was, I think, the biggest decision I ever took. Seriously. Because until then, there was nobody in the Middle East with a face tattoo. Nobody had. They had till here below. And by the time I'd reached the point where nobody could make a statement like me. So I really wanted to make a statement. So I think it was this side of my face. You can see this side. This side looks very much like the Mike Tyson tattoo. Okay. I got this side done out of inspiration for Mike Tyson's tattoo. But let me tell you, that was the hardest decision to take. And what do I mean? I was scared. I was shit scared. I was not sure if I get it done, will I get deported? Will I get arrested? Because I'm staying in a Muslim country. And I remember going to my tattoo artist almost, I think 4 times. I would go to him, I said, do the tattoo. And he would keep asking me, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? And then I would get cold feet. I would shiver. No, fuck, man. And I would go back. And then I'd come after maybe a month, 2 months, again say, do. He would ask me, are you sure? Are you sure? Because he knew. Nobody knew he got this. Finally, the 4th time I said, fuck this, just get it done with. He can ask me, are you sure? And I got it done. And now I'm driving back home. I didn't know how the world was going to react. And people did notice. Everyone was like, fuck, he got a tattoo on his face. And then I realized nobody gave a damn. So I was like, oh, it's pretty cool. Okay. So I didn't get more than this. But it was only after I left the last corporate job that I ever had, it didn't strike me at that time, but I think that was where my life started to go up and down. I had many ups and downs in terms of emotional upheavals. And when I started working for the guy who, sells fake degrees, which I've mentioned, that is where my CoffeeZilla interview, where I mentioned about the guy with fake degrees. When I was working with him is where I went fully berserk of being controversial. I got the back of my head done, and then I got the sides. You can see this side is different, this side is different. See, I'll show you. This side is different, this side is different. Okay. But the one that you see here, the middle one, is my TED Talk. If you see, I have a TED Talk. The most prestigious one was Dubai. This was not some small, cheap college or small, 2,000, 100 people or 50 people will put together. It was actually by the Dubai government was involved. It was a big thing. And you had to audition for it, and you would get selected among maybe 7,000 candidates. I wanted to stand out and show my commitment for that role. So even when I landed there were professional speakers, Harvard graduates, PhDs, CEOs, everything. So registration. I was like, fuck, if I have to stand out, I have nothing. What do I do? And that was one of the lowest points in my life where I had no money. And my mentor had told me to go there. Mohammed Murad, who is the ex-head of Dubai police. So he told me go there, and at first I said no. He said fine. He never forces me. But then I was like, what the fuck, yeah? I need to believe in myself. Because I was going through a really bad time that time. So I went there. When I saw all these people, I spent the whole night thinking, how can I stand out? And I realized I'll tattoo my head. I didn't have a topic. I didn't have anything. It was like to show my commitment. And when I arrived there for my audition, this was deep red because I just got it tattooed. And the funny thing, before auditioning, it started to bleed. So I dabbed it with the cotton, and it's like, did you just get a tattoo? And I was like, yeah, I got the tattoo for this role. They're like, oh, you're that crazy about getting this role? I said, yeah, that's my commitment. So then they said, what is your topic? I didn't have a topic. I said, I want to keep it as a suspense. So they shot the auditioning where everyone needed like 5 takes, 6 takes, some even 22 takes. Because I had practiced, when I came on camera, I said, if you want to know what is the story behind all these tattoos, vote for me as your TED Talk speaker, and I will tell you the answer. Look forward to see you at the TED Talk. 1 minute, straight shoot. They're like, oh, very good, we got it. So I was like, yeah, fine. And that is why if you see my TED Talk on YouTube, it's partial, it's still not complete. So that is why I got this. Then the full face, I think I got eventually after I tried to bounce back and come back in my life. I was like, these are empty spaces, why not fill it up? That also was another very courageous thing. And by the time, I think, my whole body and face was done. And there was nothing more left. Thankfully, I'll tell you one thing which I'm very thankful. Like if you see some people's tattoo face or tattoos on their face, Post Malone and all that, they write something. Some people put numbers, some people put names, some people even put the face of their babies and all that nonsense. I'll tell you, I didn't even do any research what to put. I'm telling you, I'm thanking, I don't know if there are gods, or I just told him make it like this and like that, and somehow he was able to, okay, these lines are projecting like this, let's make it, the lines are. I didn't know how it would look like. Thankfully, it came out well. Just imagine if I had made my face a disaster. I would have regretted that for the rest of my life. Thankfully, my face tattoos came okay. I know, subjective. Some people say, fuck, hey, you look ugly. But I've shown my face without tattoos to people and my face with tattoos to people. From my wife to every other single person. They said, man, you look much better with tattoos. And today, it has been, from the age of 30, I'm 47, 16 years since my tattoo journey. I'll tell you, my whole brand, image, how people identify me is all based because of this. And if I could go back in time, people say, if you could go back in time, would you change it? My answer would be, the only thing I would change is maybe I would get a theme. A theme, maybe I'd put color. But one thing, remember, it is one of the most expensive investments you can have, good tattoos. It has cost me roughly $25,000. Yeah, roughly around that range. If I were to get a colored one by a professional with a theme, it would go up to 100,000 US dollars. The really good tattoo artist. So, if I could go back in time, that is what I would get. The face tattoo, I would keep it exactly the same. Maybe I would change some things here and there. And how has the tattoos influenced my life? Yes, it has given me attention. It has given me, people are curious. The drawbacks, I told you, you'll be judged and people say you're satanic, you're evil. The funny thing is, I don't smoke, I don't drink. I used to have girlfriends, I don't have now that also. I don't go outside, I don't fight. But there is negative connotation as a gangster, evil guy and all that. So, well, that comes to the deal. And remember this much, you are literally cutting off all your career options and many relationships of mine. Women and their families rejected me because I was tattooed, which I don't blame them. I've told you, if I had my daughter, if I'd see someone tattooed, I would be like, something is wrong with this guy. So there's plenty of negative connotation, and like I told you, if you have proper upbringing, you'll not get so many tattoos. You'll not get all this crazy stuff. So overall, do I have any regrets? Absolutely not, man. Absolutely not. In fact, my life has been better. There's always a curiosity. Who's this guy? People do give me mean looks. Spiritual people, spiritual Christians, spiritual Muslims, they definitely judge me. When I travel in airports, the only place where I face complications is if it's a Muslim country. Otherwise, people look at me as like, a freak, and they'll just ask for a photograph. India, I've gone many times on a business trip. They will be like, who the fuck is this? They think I'm an American or British or New Zealander, or they think from the Maori tribe, and they speak in Hindi. Ye chutiye ko dekh yaar. So, but when they see the Indian passport, what the fuck? They would be like, look at him, look down. Because that time I had a different photograph without tattoos. So every 10 years when you renew your passport, you have to put the new one after every 10 years. So now it matches my face. So yeah, overall this. But one of the most funny bits, if I were to conclude, the funniest bit is many girls rejected me saying, what will I tell society? What will people think of me? They will laugh at my kid. They will insult. How can I celebrate Christmas with you? You're a freak. People who I'm sleeping with, who I've had a relationship. The funny thing is today, when I go with my daughter anywhere, here in Samui, because many people are tattooed, nobody says anything. People are just used to it. And my daughter is not afraid of me. My wife is not afraid of me. They're just used to it. Like, you see me every day, if you see my videos, finally you'll not notice it. And even my clients, even everyone who I talk to, they're like, at first I was shocked, but I'm used to looking at your face, and I prefer you with tattoos. So yeah, this is why I got the tattoos, because of all these factors. Seeking attention, being a rebel, wanting to make a statement. And, it just built on my brand, and that's who I am today. Would I recommend and advise others? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Don't. Because there is, remember, every action has a reaction. There's a price to pay. But overall, one life, man. Now I'm 47, maybe a few more years to live. 50, 60, 70, die. And people say, hey, how do you look when you look old? I'm already getting old. You'll just be wrinkled. So, will you look super attractive when you're old? No, right? You look like an old person. So, who gives a fuck when you're old? Anyway, so that's it. I hope you finally got your answer. Why did I tattoo myself? And yeah. Well, hope this answers your question. If you have any questions, feel free, put them down below. And you can be rest assured, I will read it and I will answer it. But like I told you, please do not get tattooed if you're below the age of 30. Ideal age to get tattooed is 40. But if you have to get before that, at least try temporary tattoos. Temporary. So if you don't like it, you can wash it off. There are plenty of tattoo stickers and you can keep changing. Because remember, just as time evolves, we change, our preferences change, our likes, dislikes. You wouldn't want to get something permanent on your body and then look back and say, oh fuck yeah. And I've met people who took an impulsive decision, especially Muslims, and then they regret it. I told them, don't do it. I'm not the role model for getting tattooed. So just keep in mind there's a price to pay. All right. Hope this answers your question. This was another Kadak Chai Musing. Good, bad, ugly. Feel free, comment down below. This is me signing off. You guys take care. One final thing. Let me know, what was your first impression when you saw me with tattoos? What was your first impression? Okay? Be honest. Comment down below. I will read it. Having said that, good, bad, ugly, feel free. Let me say bye.